Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, September 5th, 2025. Finally, we have a Friday podcast with football. With all football, I should say. NFL, college football, MLB, WNBA, soccer, tennis, news and notes, and then Best Bet Fab 5 to close out the show. All right, NFL will be first. We'll go over the results from yesterday. I should say result from yesterday, and then look ahead to tonight and the weekend. So the first game of the year that featured a lightning delay, believe it or not, the Eagles come out on top by a score of 24-20. There's no points scored after the lightning delay. I think that affected both teams' offenses. Philadelphia 1-0, Dallas 0-1. Dallas deserves credit for hanging around in the game. Neither quarterback had the stats. Jalen Hurts, 152 yards, 9 for 23 and 62 on the ground, and Dak Prescott, 188 passing yards, 21 of 34. But Dallas did have the lead at points in the game. They were competitive. But, I mean, say what you want about the lightning delay. The Eagles were probably winning that game by double digits, if not for that. And I'm just petty that the Eagles didn't cover it. But, hey, maybe Dallas, I don't have much to make from Dallas in this game. Philly just needs to clean some stuff up. Game one rust. I mean, you could say the same about Dallas, too. But Jalen Carter got ejected for spinning at Dak Prescott. That was rude of Jalen Carter. That was just disgusting, too. And he deserved to be ejected. But tonight, we have a game in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Chiefs-Chargers. Last year, this was Eagles-Packers. This year, it's Chiefs-Chargers. My projection for this game is Chiefs by 4.5, total 42 and 11/20. And it is 3 and 47.5. I love the under. Absolutely adore the under. And I think that I know that game last year in Brazil was high scoring, but I don't think this one is necessarily going to be. All right, Sunday. Here we go. 1 o'clock on Fox. Bucks Falcons. My line's Tampa by 1, total 49 3/4. And it's 1.5 and 47.5. Over. I know there's injuries on both sides of the ball, but Tampa still has a good offense, even with Godwin and McMillan out. And Atlanta's missing their center, I get it, but or their tackle, or what is he? Where's McGarry play guard? One of their linemen, he's out for the year, McGarry. And I still think that goes over. Next up on CVS, Bengals Browns. Oh no, that's a lie. It's on Fox. My line is Bengals by 6, total 47 and 1/5, and it's 5.5 and 47.5. Oh my God, talk about really close. Yeah, Madison's not betting on that game. Slight Bengals. Slight lean to the Bengals, but Madison's not betting that game. Next up, probably the worst game of the weekend. Dolphins-Colts on CBS. I mean, Bengals-Browns, say what you want, but at least the Bengals are fun. My line's Colts by 1/2, total 44.5. I think the injury to Jason Sanders would cause me to move the line to Colts by 1/2, and it's Colts by 1.5, total 46.5, and it's basically a pick'em. And that's what I originally had it as, but my pick for the podcast is going to be the under. I just think this is going to be a gross game. Next up on CBS, Raiders-Patriots. My line is Patriots by 2, total 40 2 3/5. And it's Patriots by 2.5. Total is 43.5. Some may argue that the Raiders should be favored in this spot, but it's still a West Coast team going east. I'm just going to go on a limb and say former WFAN host Joe Beningo probably took New England in his picks with John Jastrzemski on New York, New York. But anyway, my pick for this is going to be a slight under. I just think that it's a low-scoring game with defense involved and jitters and all that. Cardinals Saints is up on Fox. Oh, no, my bad, CBS. I don't know why that's on CBS. That's a cross game. The Saints I have as a 3.5-point home underdog. So Cardinals by 3.5, total 44 and 11/20, and it's 6.5 and 42.5. I have to take the Saints getting the points. I understand they have a worse quarterback, but do you really trust the Cardinals to cover 6.5, a team that's done absolutely nothing since Kyler Murray's gotten there in terms of success? And they're giving 6.5. I know that says more about the Saints, but still. I think this game might be closer than expected. Give me the Saints getting 6.5. Next up on CBS, Steelers Jets. My line is Steelers by 4, total 42 and 1/5, and it's 2.5 and 37.5. I like the over. That's low. I know that's a typical Steelers total. But I just think that maybe there's a pick 6 in there and it goes over, or a special teams touchdown. This is what it's banking on. Or like a Rodgers to DK Metcalf play, or maybe it's a big Breece Hall run, or something weird's going to happen in this game that's going to cause the total to go over. Next up on Fox, Giants Commanders. Believe it or not, this is the Tom Brady, Kevin Burkhardt game. And that's the case because CBS has Lions Packers. But Burkhardt and Brady could have also been in Seattle. I just think the fact that they're on that game is favoritism towards Fox's favorite division. And Washington, high expectations. NFC title game last year. And then the Giants are the Giants. Big market team that, granted, no success since 2012. So my line is Commanders by 7, total 47 and 1/10, and it's 6.5 and 45.5. I'm going to do a slight lean on the over. I just think that, again, wouldn't be surprised if there's more points than expected on either side. Next up, a semi-interesting game. Panthers-Jaguars on Fox of Travis Hunter's debut. My line's Jaguars by 6, total 47 and 19/20, and it's Jaguars by 3.5, total 46.5. I'm going to lay it with the Jaguars. I'm high on this team this year, and I just think that Travis Hunter's going to be flashing, so I'm going to lay the points. Next up, 4 o'clock, Titans-Broncos from Denver. My line's Broncos by 9, total 44 and 1/5. And it is Denver giving 8.5. Total is 42.5. The line's higher than I thought it was. Slight over in this spot. And the Broncos are going to be my survivor pool pick this week. 49ers Seahawks from Seattle. Also on Fox. I thought that this game was going to be Burkhardt and Brady. This is the best Fox game on the board, but they went, like I said, they went with favoritism instead of realistic. My line is 49ers by 1/2, total 46 and 1/5, or 1/10, my bad, and it is San Fran by 1.5, total 43.5. I like the over. I think there's going to be some offense in this game. There's a lot of talent still offensively, both sides, so I like the over. Game of the afternoon, 4:25, CBS, Jim Nantz, Tony Romo. On the call. Lions, Packers. My line's the Packers by 5.5, total 50 and 7/20, and it's 2.5 and 47.5. The question is, Packers are over. I love them both. Love them both. So I'm going to lay it with the Packers because I have a bigger edge on them than the over. No Akeem McNeil for Detroit. I think that this line's quite frankly too low, and I think they're underestimating the impact of Micah Parsons in the line. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 for Green Bay in the frozen tundra, but it won't be frozen. Texans, Rams. I don't know who's calling this game. Rams are 4-point favorites, total 43 and 4/5. And by the way, 49ers Seahawks is probably Joe Davis on the call. So Texans, Rams is 4, total 43 and 4/5. And it's 3 and 43.5. Again, a very close line. A lot of my projections are coming out really tight for week 1. And I feel like that happens more often than not, and it's surprising. Slight lean towards the Rams. All right, and the big one. Game of the weekend. Sunday Night Football. Dare I say, the best two teams in the AFC. No offense, Kansas City Chiefs. It's not you. You guys were exposed in the Super Bowl. Ravens, Bills. No Tyler Bass. Just got word on that. My line is Bills by 4, total 51 and 3/4. There's a lot of people saying that the Ravens should be favored here. I disagree because the Bills are home. The Ravens are not. I mean, on the neutral, probably the Ravens should be favored, but this is based off, these lines are based off my season projections and the win totals and whatnot. But the AFC East is easier than the AFC North. So that's why the Bills are a little bit of a higher line. Wow, the Ravens are actually favored in this game. Plus, the Ravens are 1.5 point favorites, total 50.5. I have to take the Bills. I'm sorry. I just think everybody's betting the Ravens. I don't trust Lamar Jackson as a road favorite in a night game. Come on. Maybe he's a home favorite, sure, but road favorite, ruckus atmosphere, no thank you. Josh Allen's going to have a big chip on his shoulder. Give me the Bills getting the 1.5, and they are minus 102 to win outright. Monday night, we'll do Monday night. Okay, now move on to college football. We'll go over... Oh, I'm sorry. We did not have any games, so we'll just go right into the games for tonight and the weekend. All right, we'll begin 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN. James Madison, Louisville. ESPN 2, my bad. I have Louisville by 9, total 61.5. And it is 14.5 and 54.5. I'm going to go with the over. Next up, Western Illinois, Northwestern. I have Northwestern by 12, total 40.5, and it's 30.5, 49.5. Western Illinois, Northwestern stunk last week, and they're going to stink this year. And oh, by the way, I don't have every FCS line in total. I just did a couple of them. Next up on the Big Ten Network at 7:30, Northern Illinois, Maryland. So that's a rare instance where it's regional coverage there for football. I have Maryland by 9, total 41, and it is 16.5 and 44.5. I have to take Northern Illinois. Eastern Washington, Boise State on Fox Sports 1 at 9 o'clock. I have Boise by 37, total 46.5, and it is 31.5 and 60.5. Under. That total is a little high. All right, on the Saturday, for the games. All right, Saturday, 12 o'clock. ABC, San Jose State, number 7, Texas. My line is Texas by 9, total 51 and 7/20, and it is 36.5 and 52.5. I gotta take San Jose State. The cover. Big Ten Arc, FIU number 2, Penn State. I have Penn State by 18, total 54, and it is 41.5 and 53.5. FIU cover. 12 o'clock, ESPN number 11, Illinois Duke. I have Illinois by 3, total 58.5, and it is 2.5 and 49.5. Over. Baylor and number 17, SMU on the C-Dub network. My line is SMU by 7, total 58.5. And it's 2.5 and 63.5. Under. Although I do like Baylor to cover too. I mean, that was the second week in a row that I like Baylor. That was a dog. Fox Sports 1, Kennesaw State, number 23, Indiana. My line's Indiana 16, total 40 and 9/10. Um, 35.5 and 51.5. Kennesaw cover. Here's a good one on Fox. Iowa, number 16, Iowa State. I have State by 12, 47.25, and it is where is that game? Oh, 3.5 and 42.5. Oh my God. Do I love State. I know the Hawkeyes are strong when they're unexpected to be, but they're weak. Give me Iowa State minus the points. Kent State, number 24, Texas Tech on TNT. Mine's Tech by 33, total 56. And it is 48.5 and 59.5. I'm going to take the points in Kent State. Northwestern State, Minnesota. Mine's Minnesota 42, total 40 and 3/4, and it's 43.5 and 50.5. Under. Here's a decent conference game. ESPN2, Virginia, NC State. Mine's Virginia by 3, total 48. And it is NC State 3.5, total 54.5. Is the question. I have a 6.5 point edge on the under. 2.5, 1.5. And the same distance for Virginia. The question is, what do I feel better about? Virginia has too much juice. I have to go with the under. Central Michigan Pitt on ESPNU. My line's Pitt by 18, total 50. And it is Pitt by 21.5, total 50.5. I'm going to take the points in Central. UConn, Syracuse. I have next on my sheet. I have Syracuse by 11, total a whopping 71.5 and 60 or 6.5 and 57.5. I like the over. East Texas A&M, number 14, Florida State. I have FSU by 22, total 51.5. And it's 44.5 and 57.5. I'm taking ETA A&M the cover only because letdown spot and all that jazz. Next up, Liberty and Jacksonville State Conference USA game. My line's Liberty by a whopping 31, total 43 and 4/5. And it's 6.5, 50.5. I'm laying it with Liberty. Jacksonville State is not on Liberty's level. I'm laying it with Liberty. Western Carolina, number 19, Texas A&M at 12:45 on the SEC Network. My line is A&M by 9, total 69 3/10. And it's 31.5 and 56.5. I'm going to take Utah State to cover. Or, I'm sorry, Western Carolina to cover. Utah State. I was looking at something else. Wait. Huh? Why do I have Western Carolina written down at playing Texas A&M? That is so weird. I screwed something up. Okay, do-over. Utah State, number 19, Texas A&M. I don't know where I got Western Carolina from. I have A&M by 18, total 58 and 3/10. And it is 31.5 and 56.5, excuse me. I'm going to go with Utah State, the cover. Howard Temple at 2 o'clock. My line's Temple by 4, and it's 25.5, 46.5. I'll take Howard to cover. I don't trust Temple. Idaho State, New Mexico. I have New Mexico 13.5, and it is... That's what it is, and the total is 63.5. Over. Grambling, number 1, Ohio State. I have Ohio State by 30, and I know it's more than that. And that game is going to be on the Big Ten Network at 3:30. And OSU is minus 55.5, total 62.5. That's way too high. I think Grambling covers. Maybe they lose by 50. Troy, number 8, Clemson on the ACC Network. By lines, Clemson 17, total 42.5. I know that seems low. It's 31.5 and 51.5. I'm going to take Troy to cover. Sandwich spot for Clemson. Austin Peay, number 4, Georgia on ESPN Plus. My line's Georgia 33, total. Oh, wait. I just did the line there. Oh, my God. I'm losing it. 48.5, 55.5. Austin Peay in the points. Oklahoma State, number 6, Oregon CBS. My line is Oregon 27, total 53. And it is 28.5, 55.5. Under. Number 20, Ole Miss in Kentucky on ABC at 3:30. My line is Ole Miss by a whopping 15. Total 55. And it's 9.5 and 50.5. So I'm going to lay it with Ole Miss. East Tennessee State, number 22, Missouri. Or number 22, Tennessee on ESPN Plus. Mine's Tennessee 27, and it is 42.5, 56.5. I'll take the points in ETSU. Kansas, Missouri, 3:30, ESPN 2. My line's Missouri 9.5, total 56.25. And it's 6.5, 50.5. Over. Miami of Ohio, Rutgers. Mine's Miami of Ohio by 5, total 41. And it is Rutgers by a whopping 14.5, total 44.5. I'm going to take Miami of Ohio in the points. And then I think they can win outright, and I'll take a stab at the money line, which is plus 425. Next up, Fresno State, Oregon State. That is on the CW network. Mine's Oregon State 23.5, total 48. Two and a half and 46.5. Oregon State minus the points, but they will not be in Fab 5 this week. Gardner-Webb, Georgia Tech. My line's Tech 39. And it's 37.5, 58.5. Over. Bowling Green, Cincinnati. My line is Cincy 14, total 41 and 7/10, and it's 22.5, 46.5. Bowling Green in the points. Delaware, Colorado. I have Delaware actually as a 4-point favorite, total 49.5, and Delaware, believe it or not, the game's on Fox. Which is crazy. And sorry, I'm just trying to reorganize here. Screen closed out. I have Colorado 23.5, total 49.5. Ooh. Delaware in the points. And then money line. 14-1. Why not? I don't think Colorado's good without Shader and Travis Hunter and Shiloh. Lindenwood, App State. My line's App State by 8. And that is 30.5 and 52.5. I'm going to take Lindenwood to cover. Texas State, UTSA. My line's UTSA by 11, total 72.5. And it's 4.5 and 65.5. 6.5 point edge on UTSA. And a 7-point edge on the over. So I'm going to go with the over. UAB Navy on CBS Sports Network. My line's Navy 27, total 76.5. And it's 20.5 and 59.5. Over. North Texas, Western Michigan. My line's Western as a 7-point underdog, total of 40, and it's 9.5 and 56.5. Under. Next up, St. Francis, Buffalo. My line's Buffalo 23.5. And it's 36.5 and 49.5. I'm going to take the points for St. Francis. Bryant, UMass. My line's UMass 16. And it's 13.5 and 52.5. Believe it or not, I'm going to lay with UMass. 4 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Middle Tennessee, Wisconsin. My line's Middle Tennessee, yes, by 5, total 40 and 2/5. And it's 28.5 and 44.5. I'm taking the points. And then on the money line, they're 30-1, which is wild. It's probably the biggest outright underdog I will give out. I just think Wisconsin stinks. West Virginia, Ohio on ESPNU. My line is Ohio by 9, total 56.5. And West Virginia, of course, is favored by 3.5, total is 58.5. I'm going to take Ohio in the points, and then the money line is plus 130. Northern Iowa, Wyoming. My line is Wyoming by 10. And it's 13.5 and 47.5. I'm going to take UNI to cover. 4:15 SEC Network. South Florida, number 13, Florida. Mine's Florida by 12, total 48. And it's 17.5, 56.5. I'm going to take the under. Arkansas State, Arkansas. 5 o'clock. My line's Arkansas State by 9, total 62.5. And it's Arkansas 22.5, total 63.5. I think the SEC is getting too much hype and favoritism here. There's another big dog. And that is 1160. Which is a good one. Sacramento State, Nevada. Now I'm actually going to skip the FCS ones. Sac State, Nevada, Jackson State, Southern Miss, Cal Poly, number 25, Utah at 6, Texas Southern Cal. Mizzou State, Marshall, 6 o'clock. My lines, Mizzou State by 9, total 69. And it's Marshall 8.5, total 54.5. I'm taking Missouri State and the money line plus 260. NC Central, Old Dominion. We're going to skip that one. And Campbell, East Carolina, A&M, or Florida A&M, FAU, Bethune-Cookman, number 5, Miami, SC State, South Carolina. I'll skip all of them. All right. Army, Kansas State, 7 o'clock ESPN. Kansas State should be ranked. My line's Kansas by 27, total 58. And it's 17.5 and 47.5. I have an over 10-point edge on the over and a less than 10-point edge on Kansas State. So that's where I'm going, the over. North Carolina, Charlotte. My line's a pick'em in 53.5. And it's Carolina by 13.5, total 49.5. I just think that Bill Belichick's team stinks. I said it before the year, and I feel strongly about that now. So I'm going to take Charlotte in the points. And then they're 4-1 outright. I'm going to mark the money line, but I'm not going to pick it. I'm not going to give it out. Houston, Rice. Mine's Houston by 12, total 33 and 7/10. And it's 13.5 and 38.5. Under. Western Kentucky, Toledo. We'll skip NCAA to UCF. My line is Toledo 13.5, total 51.5. And it is... Where's that line? Some of next week's lines are starting to pop. There you go. Toledo 7.5, total 58.5. So 7-point edge on the under, 6-point edge on Toledo. So the under's the pick. I do love Toledo minus the points too. Northern Colorado, Colorado State skip. Memphis, Georgia State. That's also at 7 o'clock. Minus Georgia State by 8, total 62.5. And it's Memphis by a whopping 13.5, total 57.5. I'm taking Georgia State and the money line plus 350. Oh my God, there's a lot of outright dogs I love this week. Tulane, South Alabama. My line is Tulane by 21, total 42.5. And it's 12.5 and 51.5. So I have an 8.5-point edge on Tulane. And a 9-point edge on the under, so the pick's the under. LIU, Eastern Michigan skip, 7:30. Louisiana Tech, number 3, LSU. I have LSU by 30, total 55 and a 10th. And it's 37.5 and 50.5. I'm going to take Tech in the points. I think it could be a little sandwich spot for LSU. All right. 7:30. ABC. Number 15, Michigan. Number 18, Oklahoma. Mine's Michigan by 6, total 44.5. And it's Oklahoma 5.5, total 44.5. I'm going to take Michigan, and I'm going to take them outright at plus 168. I don't think Oklahoma should be that big of a favorite over another ranked opponent. Why are they 5.5 point fucking favorites over Michigan for beating Alabama last year? Whoop-de-doo. Alabama may not be as good without Nick Saban. Number 12, Arizona State against Mississippi State. That is going to be on ESPN2. My line's Arizona State by 27, total 54. And it's 6.5, 58.5. I love Arizona State minus the points. Love it so much. ESPNU Ball State Auburn. Mine's Auburn 22, total 46.5. It's 43.5, 52.5. I'm going to take Ball State to cover, sandwich spot. Vandy Vatek on the ACC Network. My line's Vandy 7, total 41.5. And Vatek's probably favored. Yeah, only by 2.5, total 45.5. I'm going to take Vandy and the points, and the money line is plus 104. Big Ten Network, Akron, Nebraska. My line is Nebraska by 10, total 35 and 4/5. And it is 34.5 and 47.5. Akron cover. Georgia Southern USC. I've Southern by 5, total 71. I think that's incorrect from projections. I'm in this SC 28.5, total 60.5. I'll take Georgia Southern to cover. And no, they will not be in Fat 5. They hurt my feelings last week. On NBC, BC Michigan State. Mine's Sparty by 6, total 52.5. And it is 3.5 and 45.5. Over. Yo Monroe, number 21, Bama. Like I said, I'm skipping the rest of the SCS games. 745 SEC Network, Bama should not be ranked. But it's Bama 35, total 66 and 7/10. And it is 35.5, 49.5. Over. 8 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, UCLA, UNLV. Wait, did I skip that game in my on my schedule board? Yeah, I did. Of fucking course. Yeah, so 8 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. Can't believe I missed this. UCLA, UNLV. We're close. Wait a second here. So, I have UNLV 16.5, total 52.5. And it's UCLA 2.5, total 55.5. UCLA's favorite because they're UCLA. Give me UNLV plus the points, and they're plus 116 outright. Tulsa, New Mexico State. We have 4 more left. New Mexico State, I have minus 6, total 47.25. And it's Tulsa 3.5, total 51.5. Tulsa has no business being favored. Come on, give me New Mexico State and the points at plus 146. San Diego State, Washington State, 10-15 CW. My line is San Diego State by 6, total 44 and 7/10. And it's Washington State by 1.5, total 46.5. I'm taking San Diego State plus the 1.5 and plus 105. After that, Stanford BYU on ESPN. It's in the old Pac-12 After Dark spot. My line is BYU by a whopping 28, total 56, and it's 20.5 and 44.5. I'm going to take the over. And last but not least, Sim Houston, Hawaii at midnight. My line is Hawaii 17, total 53.25, and it is 6.5 and 49.5. I'm going to lay the 6.5 with Hawaii. All right, that's done. All right, now move on to baseball. I know that was a long one. I'm sorry. A lot of games. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. And we do have a final from today. It's the obvious Friday. All right, so we only had 6 games yesterday. Phils over the Brewers 2-0. Pirates over the Dodgers 5-3. Rays over the Guardians 4-2. Yanks over the Astros 8-4. Royals over the Angels 4-3. White Sox over the Twins 11-8. And the final from this afternoon, Cubs over the Nationals 11-5. All right, coming up at 6:30. White Sox Tigers. On the bump we have Jack Flaherty and Shane Smith. Tigers minus 190, White Sox plus 160, over under 8.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 130, Tigers minus 1.5 plus 108, over. Next up, Brewers Pirates. Quinn Priester and Johan Oviedo. Brewers minus 138, Pirates plus 118, over under 8.5, overs minus 8, unders minus 112. Brewers minus 1.5 plus 122, Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 146. Why are the Pirates only plus 118? I don't understand that one at all. You have 64 wins. You shouldn't be plus 118 against the best team in baseball. Come on. I like the under. That's why I'm not picking a side. I think that line's weird. Mets Reds. David Peterson and Andrew Abbott. Mets minus 116, Reds minus 102, over under 9.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Mets minus 1.5 plus 136, Reds plus 1.5 minus 164. I like the Reds at minus 102. $7:00. Blue Jays Yankees, huge series for the Yankees to potentially tie the Blue Jays if they sweep them. I think there's pressure on the Yankees. I think more pressure on the Yankees, obviously, because they're the Yankees. But say if the Yankees win the first 2 of the series, then there's pressure on the Jays. Kevin Gausman and Cam Schlittler. The Yanks are a minus 130 favorites. Toronto's plus 110, over under 9, minus 110 each way. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 188. Yankees minus 1.5 plus 155. Schlittler's been really good. I think he's pitching his way into the Yankee postseason rotation. I like the under a lot in this spot. That's too high, although Toronto at plus money's tempting. I think the Schlittler bandwagon is talking. Dodgers, O's, Shohei Ohtani, and Dean Kremer. Dodgers minus 168, O's plus 142, over under 9, overs minus 8, unders minus 112. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 106, O's plus 1.5 is minus 113. Dodger run line only because it's the Dodgers and Ohtani. Pressure's on them. Phil's Marlins. Chris Sanchez and Valente Belozo. Phil's minus 235, Marlins plus 194, over under 8, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Phil's minus 1.5 minus 138, Marlins plus 1.5 plus 115, under. 7:15, Marlins Braves. Logan Gilbert and Chris Sale. Chris Sale's been good this year, but the Braves have not. Braves minus 130, Mariners plus 110, over under 7.5, overs minus 8, unders minus 112. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 192, Braves minus 1.5 plus 158. I like the under. $7:30, Guardians Rays. Gavin Williams and Griffin Jacks. Wait a second. It was supposed to be Tyler Glasnow pitching tonight for the Dodgers instead of Ohtani. That's weird. Yeah, so Rays minus 148, Guardians plus 126, over under 7.5. Over Z money, unders minus 122. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 166, Rays minus 1.5 plus 138. I'm going to go with the Guardians plus 128. Just throwing a dart. Next up, you got the Twins and the Royals. Pablo Lopez and Michael Wacha. FanDuel keeps reloading on me, and it's frustrating at this point. Royals minus 132, Twins plus 112, over under 8, overs minus 8, or minus 115, unders minus 105. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 78, Royals minus 1.5 plus 146. I like the Twins plus 112. Astros Rangers. You have Merrill Kelly for Texas and Colton Gordon for Houston. So Texas is probably favored, right? Yes, minus 112. Houston's minus 104, over under 8, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 155. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 188. I'm going to go with Texas minus 112. All right, 8:15. You have the Giants and the Cardinals. You have Max McGreevy and Carson Samer. Cards minus 116. Giants minus 102, over under 8.5. Overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Giants minus 1.5 plus 158. Cards plus 1.5 minus 92. I'm taking the Cardinals at home. Minus 116. 8:30, Padres Rockies. Nick Pivetta and Kyle Freeland. San Diego minus 215, Colorado plus 180, over under 10.5, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Padres minus 1.5 is minus 146, Rockies plus 1.5 plus 122. I like the under. 9:30, A's Angels. Jose Soriano and Mason Barnett. Angels minus 152, A's plus 128, over under 9.5, overs plus 102, unders minus 124. A's plus 1.5 is minus 152. Angels minus 1.5 plus 126. I like the over at plus 105. Red Sox, Diamondbacks. Eduardo Rodriguez against Peyton Tolly. Red Sox minus 134. D-backs plus 114, over under 9. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Red Sox minus 1.5 plus 120. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 144. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks at plus money here. I just think that first game on the West Coast for Boston. Sometimes teams don't handle that well. East going west, west going east kind of thing. Trends. D-backs plus 114. And that's it for Friday baseball, at least. And then, all right, Saturday, we have 1 o'clock, MLB Network, Jays, Yankees. 2:20, Nats, Cubs. 4 o'clock, Phil's, Marlins. 6 o'clock, White Sox, Tigers. 6:30, Brewers, Pirates, Mets, Reds. 7 o'clock, Guardians, Rays, Dodgers, O's. 7:15, Mariners, Braves. On Fox, 3 games: Astros, Rangers, Twins, Royals, Giants, Cards. 8 o'clock, Padres, Rockies. Red Sox, Diamondbacks. And 9:30, A's, Angels. Okay. Now move on to the WNBA. We'll go over yesterday's games and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. So we'll do that. My phone is acting up big time. Mercury over the Mystics, 75-69. Valks over the Wings, 84-80. Aces over the Lynx, 97-87. 3 games tonight. 7:30 on Ion. Sparks, Dream. Atlanta's giving 5.5. Totals 169.5. That's ESPN bet. We give out on FanDuel. 6 and 170. That's a tough one. But I'm going to go with the Sparks getting the 6. Chicago, Indiana on Iron. Indiana's 11-point favorite. Totals 160. I'm taking Chicago in the points. Clayton Clark's out for the season. That team is doomed. 10 o'clock on Ion, Liberty Storm. The Storm are giving 1.5, totals 162. I'm laying the points with the Storm. The Liberty have been vulnerable lately. And then Saturday, 1 o'clock, Phoenix, Connecticut. 8:30, Minnesota, Golden State. Sunday, 3 o'clock, NBA TV, Indy, Washington. 6 o'clock, NBA TV, Dallas, LA. And then 9 o'clock on NBA TV, Chicago, Vegas. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. We'll go over the results from yesterday, and we will look ahead to everything over the weekend. It's a lot of qualifying and whatnot. We might not even give out picks unless if it's like MLS for the weekend and stuff like that. And there's a lot of finals. So we'll do Thursday a little bit too. So friendlies. Malaysia over Singapore 2-1. Saudi Arabia over North Macedonia 2-1. UAE over Serbia 3-1. Albania over Gibraltar 1-0. Norway over Finland 1-0. Russia, Jordan 0-0 draw. UEFA. Wales over Kazakhstan 1-0. Turkey over Georgia 3-2. Lithuania, Malta 1-1 draw. Spain over Bulgaria 3-0. Belgium over Liechtenstein 6-0. Northern Ireland over Luxembourg 3-1. Netherlands, Poland 1-1 draw. Slovakia over Germany 2-0. CONMEBOL. Argentina over Venezuela 3-0. Colombia over Bolivia 3-0. Paraguay, Ecuador 0-0 draw. Uruguay over Peru 3-0. Brazil over Chile 3-0. CONCACAF. Panama and Suriname 0-0 draw. El Salvador over Guatemala 1-0. CAF. Chad, Ghana 1-1 draw. Libya over Angola 1-0. Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone 1-1 draw. Madagascar over Central African Republic 2-0. Cape Verde over Mauritius 2-0. Ecuadorial over Sao Tome and Principe 3-2. Algeria over Botswana 3-1. Cameroon over Eswatini 3-0. Mali over Comoros 3-0. And Tunisia over Liberia 3-0. Alright, today, friendlies. Australia over New Zealand 1-0. Indonesia, Kuwait canceled. Indonesia over Chinese Taipei 6-0. Canada over Romania 3-0. UEFA. Denmark, Scotland 0-0 draw. Croatia over Faroe Islands 1-0. Greece over Belarus 5-1. Iceland over Azerbaijan 5-0. Italy over Estonia 5-0. Israel over Moldova 4-0. Czechia over Montenegro 2-0. Slovenia, Sweden 2-2 draw. Switzerland over Kosovo 4-0. And France over Ukraine 2-0. CAF. Guinea over Somalia 3-0. Congo DR over South Sudan 4-1. Gambia over Kenya 3-1. Malawi over Nambia 2-1. Benin over Zimbabwe 1-0. Congo, Tunisia 1-1 draw. Burkina Faso over Djibouti 6-0. South Africa over Lesotho 3-0. Uganda over Mozambique 4-0. Egypt over Ethiopia 2-0. Ivory Coast over Burundi 1-0. Mauritania over Togo 2-0. Morocco over Niger 5-0. And Senegal over Sudan 2-0. All right, USL going on right now is Lexington, North Carolina. And then at 10:30 you have Phoenix and Vegas. So I'm just going to pull that up really quickly. So Vegas minus 140, Phoenix plus 380. Oh, vice versa. Phoenix minus 140, Vegas plus 380, draw plus 270. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals minus 104. Women's League, 8 o'clock, Louisville, Portland. Portland plus 145, Louisville plus 165, draw plus 250. I'm going to go with Louisville at home at plus 165. Oh, we have a Super League result. Chelsea over Man City 2-1. And we have CONCACAF, Bermuda, Jamaica going on right now. 8 o'clock is Haiti and Honduras. So Haiti plus 155, Honduras plus 185, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with the draw plus 210. Trinidad and Tobago and Curacao. Curacao plus 120, Trinidad and Tobago plus 240, draw plus 220. I'm going to go with Curacao plus 120. And 10 o'clock, Nicaragua and Costa Rica. Costa Rica minus 160, Nicaragua plus 480, and the draws plus 260. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals at plus 120. All right, Saturday. Friendly, 7:30 a.m. Sri Lanka and Maldives. 7:45 is Nepal and Bangladesh. 5 o'clock TNT, U.S. South Korea, and 10 o'clock Mexico, Japan. UEFA, 9 o'clock Latvia, Serbia. 12 o'clock Armenia and Portugal. England, Andorra. 2:45 Austria, Cyprus. Ireland, Hungary, and San Marino, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. Africa, Nigeria, Rwanda, MLS, 8:30 Chicago, New England, Houston, LA Galaxy, St. Louis, Dallas. Women's League, 7:30 on Ion, North Carolina, Utah, 10 o'clock on Ion Bay FC, KC. And then USL, big slate. 7 o'clock Detroit, Orange County, Rhode Island, Louisville. 7:30 Charleston, Indy, Miami, Hartford, Tampa, Sacramento. 8:30 Tulsa, Birmingham, San Antonio, New Mexico. 9 o'clock Colorado, Monterrey, and El Paso, Loudon. And then Sunday, friendly, 11:15 Qatar, Russia. 8 o'clock Syria, Kuwait. UEFA, 9 o'clock Georgia, Bulgaria. Noon Lithuania, Netherlands. North Macedonia and Liechtenstein. 2:45 Belgium, Kazakhstan, Germany, Northern Ireland. Luxembourg, Slovakia. Poland, Finland, and Turkey, Spain. 7 o'clock Sporting KC in Austin. And then the Women's League, 3 o'clock Chicago, Orlando. 4 o'clock Washington, Seattle. 5 o'clock on ESPN, Gotham, Angel City. And then 8:30 ESPN, San Diego, Houston. Women's Super League, 7 a.m. Brighton and Hove, Aston, Liverpool, Everton, Man United, Leicester City, and Tottenham and West Ham. USL, Oakland, Pittsburgh. Whew, that's a lot of soccer coming up. All right, tennis. This won't be long. We'll just go over everything from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. So yesterday was the women's semifinals. 8 seed Amanda Anisimova over number 23 seed Naomi Osaka in 3 sets, and 1 seed Arena Sablanka over 4 seed Jessica Pegula in 3 sets. We'll start the men's championship tomorrow at noon. You have... Oh, wait, no, never mind. We did have a semifinal today. 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz over 7 seed Novak Djokovic in 3 sets. I actually looked at the doubles. And then 7 o'clock tonight, 1 seed Jannik Sinner and 25 seed Felix Auger-Aliassime. Sinner's minus 4,000. Auger-Aliassime 14-1. I'm going to go with over 30.5 total match games minus 118. I think Sinner wins. And then your men's championship on Sunday, 1 seed Carlos, or 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz and 1 seed Jannik Sinner. I'm going to say Alcaraz wins in 5 sets. Whatever the number is. And then tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock, Amanda Anisimova against Aryna Sabalenka, 8-1 in the women's championship. Sabalenka's minus 210. Anisimova's plus 172. I think this goes to 3. I think both these ladies are excellent players. I'm trying to find the correct score. Or set bet or whatever. Set betting. Here we go. Aryna Sabalenka 2-1 plus 280. That's the pick. Okay, we're gonna do quick news and notes. Already talked about the lightning delay in the Cowboy-Eagle game last night. Eagles fullback Ben Van Serman out for the season. He tore his patella tendon. That's unfortunate. CMC questionable. Tyler Bass on IR. Micah questionable. Christian Gonzalez out. Tyreek Hill and Devin Akinade on track to play against the Colts. Darren Waller's out. Christian Kirk's out against the Rams. The Niners are not worried about CMC. Well, they should be. The Sky released a statement on Angel Reese. Missed the first half of the game against the Aces on September 7th due to the detrimental comments. Oof, not great. The Valkyries clinched a playoff spot. Good for them in their first year. The Connecticut are trying to keep the Sun as the state proposes purchasing minority stake in the team. Caitlin Clark's out for the season. That is really sad. That team is screwed. We talked about that a little earlier. We talked about the Jalen Carter spit. We talked about everything there. How about this? Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather set exhibition match in the spring of 2026. That's awesome. Thunder rookie Thomas Sorber will miss the season with the torn ACL. That stinks. I mean, where was he getting playing time? Taylor Trammell's bat deemed illegal against the Yankees. What game was that? The game the Yankees lost? Did he get a big hit in that game? The Yankees probably should have swept Houston. If that's true, and if he did something big in that game that like an RBI can't tell you, I don't remember. If he did something in that game, then the Yankees have a reason to complain, and they should have swept Houston. And there were bad calls in that game. There's a lot of reasons, but there's another one. More cheating by the Astros. Aaron Judge back in the outfield tonight for the first time since July. That is huge for the Yankees. I think Aaron Judge being the DH cost them some games. I mean, not Aaron Judge, period, but the fact that they had a below average playing in right field. I think they buried Jason Dominguez because of how bad he's been. The Mets optioned Cody Senga to AAA and made Francisco Alvarez returning from injured list. Francisco Alvarez back from the Mets is huge. Nick Saban on the Bama loss, he questioned whether Bama had anxiety heading into the Florida State matchup. Bill Belichick banned Patriots scouts from the Carolina campus. That's really funny. Mike Vrabel says he's not concerned with Belichick's individual choice. Malik Neighbors likely to play on Sunday, despite not practicing. Wow, so at least he'll play. I mean, it's bad that Andrew Thomas isn't playing. Most likely he's doubtful. Zion McCollum, 3-year, $48 extension with the Bucks. That's good. Amari Cooper unimpressive in Vegas. He didn't appear to have look of a difference maker at practice. There's a reason he was traded a bunch of times lately. Kirill Kaprizov may get a record deal as he could lock down an 8-year, $128 million contract, be the largest in the NHL history. Not for long until Connor McDavid gets Patrick Mahomes money from somebody. And the Oilers are working on a deal with the Oilers, Orioles, I know. Jalen Hurts spoke with Jalen Carter as they are on the same page after the Spitgate. That's what they're calling it, the Spitgate. That's funny. New Balance signs Josh Allen as the deal ensures families in Allen's hometown have access to all community sports programs. That's cool. Jerry Proud of Cowboys. He says Dallas has a chance to be a good team despite loss. Classic overreaction by Jerry Jones. I think they would have lost by double digits and weren't for the delay. I just think that the offenses were out of sync after the delay. Excuses, Jerry Jones. Shut the fuck up. But they do have. To be fair, I mean, they were competitive in the first half. I mean, like, it's the participation trophy era. That's what's stupid. Like, Jerry Jones, this is not a participation trophy sport, especially a franchise like yours. Like, I know I'm dealing with this with the Yankees as a Yankees fan, but, like, because the Yankees act like that too, and now all of a sudden Jerry Jones is acting like that, and he used to not be like that. Like, we need to get out of this participation trophy thing. I know that's more politics than anything, but, like, come on, these are adults, not children. Enough of this participation trophy shit. The NFL is reviewing Spitgate as the league to determine if discipline is warranted for Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott. The CSC approves $80 million in NIL deals as they clear over 8,300 contracts over the past 2 months. But yeah, Belichick banned Patriot scouts as he's limiting access to his program for all NFL staffers. But he bans the Patriot scouts. That tells you all you need to know. The FBS wants a new transfer period as the committee process is moving 10-day portal to window in January. They should. Because that affects teams in bowl games. They should move it this year. Alrighty. That's it for news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Okay, so I have a couple things in mind for best bet. I'm not going to do as much on best bet as I am with Fab 5. So for best bet, I am going to go with... Ooh, they locked the Rays Guardians game. That's weird. I thought I had one in mind. I was like, oh, that's it. But I wasn't sure. I have a couple that I like. Marlins Phils went up to 8. Instead of 7.5. I'm going to go with... Oh, that game's about to start, so that's going to... As I'm recording, I know it's a late recording today, I'm sorry. Under 8, minus 114, Phils, Marlins. That's going to be best bet. All right, Fab 5. Here we go. College football is where I usually start. Pick number 1. I am going to go with I'm going to go with the over in UConn Syracuse. -105. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2. These are a little tough. I'm going to go with another over. I'm going to go over 50.5 in Kansas, Missouri. Pick number 3. I will go There's a lot of underdogs I like, but I'm deciding who to pick. In-state rivalry, I'm going to go with Arkansas State plus... Wait a second. Yeah. Hang on. There we go. So pick number 3. I'm going to go with the Liberty Flames minus the 6.5 against Jacksonville State. I think Liberty's awesome. So, pick number 4. I'm going to go with Arkansas State plus the 22.5 against Arkansas. Pick number 5. I'm going to go with because there's a lot of dogs I like. Georgia State getting 13 and a hook against Memphis. Underdog moneyline outright pick. I'm going to go with the Michigan Wolverines plus 168 at Oklahoma. All right, the NFL Fab 5. Week 1, the NFL is never easy. So pick number 1. I'm going to go with one of my favorite teams to surprise people this year. I'm going to lay 3.5 with the Jaguars against the Panthers. Pick number 2. This is the I hate myself for making this pick. I'm going to lay or take the Saints getting 6 and a hook against Arizona. Pick number 3. I'm actually going to lower the amount on these picks. I'm But maybe I'll change my mind and cash out and redo it. Pick number 3 in the Fab 5. I'm going to go with the over 47.5 in the Buccaneers-Falcons game. I just think that there's going to be, more points than people think. Division game, and I still think a lot of good offensive players on both sides. Pick number 4. I am going to go with over 43.5 in Niners Seahawks. I just think that's a low number with those two teams. And pick number 5, I'm laying the 2.5 with Green Bay against Detroit. I think they're going to be ready to rock and roll. I don't think Detroit's going to be necessarily the same team, although I have them in the playoffs. Underdog outright money line of the show. My rule is it has to be either over 3 or a money line 125 plus 125 or higher. Should I go with the Saints just to fuck with everybody? There's always a crazy upset. And usually one of these bad teams usually wins week 1 every year. Last year it was the Patriots. I remember the Texans beat the Colts that one year, and the Texans ended up being awful. The 49ers, when Jim Tomazula was their coach, won their first game against, I want to say it was Arizona or the Rams, and a lot of people had them in their survivor pool. There's a lot of examples of this happening. So the rule is over 3 or over plus 125. Or 125 or higher. I have to do it. I'm going with the Saints. Crazy pick, but I'm doing it. Saints plus 225 to upset the Cardinals. I'm going to hate myself for that pick. All right, so there you have it for the show, and I'll be back Monday. Have a good weekend.